Welcome all. This is Matena at Plutonic Planes, and this week we're doing Gate 14. I'm doing this ahead of time because I'm going on a little trip, and I won't have to worry about it on my trip. And so this will start November 17th, which is, let's see, today is the 11th. So the 17th is going to be, I don't really know what day. I don't know what my ability to find what time it is. Oh, here it is. So this should be reaching you guys who are in the West Coast United States on Monday. So this will be next week because today is Tuesday. So this is right there on the new moon, the kind of intense new moon that I've been talking about. And it's a real intense energy from the 19th to the 23rd. A lot of planets, stellium Scorpio, late Scorpio, opposing Uranus and late Taurus. And the buildup, as you can see in this chart, there's no active channels, but that doesn't mean it's not going to activate channels in your chart. Actually, even more of a chance of that with all these open gates. Now you can see the sun's in 14. So what is the theme for this next week or this, or we're probably already arrived once you listen to this. So we got the right angle cross of contagion. So whatever's going around is contagious. Let's hope it's just some high positive vibrations and frequencies. So the 14 is a Scorpio gate, and why do I have it on page 17? That doesn't make sense. Okay. So this gate's about prosperity. It's about harvesting. And it's connected to the channel, the 214, which is the channel of the alchemist. And it's about clarity of personal commitment, inner strength, attachment, perseverance, ensuring transformation and empowerment. And it's all about motivation. I mean, really, it's about motivation and doing what kind of inspires you. It's about material prosperity. And in the Rave I Ching, Ra called it possession in great measure. And he talked about how this particular gate doesn't want to give away its power. And the power that's inherent in this gate is not about money in the sense of hard currency, it's about power as currency. So whenever people have defined motors that they're dependent on, other people get that energy out. Oh, they're dependent on other people to get that energy out. Ross says he would always tell them, you wouldn't walk through the street with a basket full of money and let everybody grab in there and pull out the money. That energy is itself is a force to bring about the right direction. And you can see this is gate 14, so it's right here coming out of the sacral center. And it's individuated, so it's another individual channel connected to an individual channel. And so this this channel is about it's about possession, it's about material prosperity and the ability to radiate prosperity. Now, in its lowest frequency, it's compromise. And compromise is one of those terms that all of us are very familiar with because it's just so programmed in our consciousness. And the term is possession in great measure. And the image in the I Ching was a large wagon laden with goods. That's what Rudd talked about in his description of the 14. So we're dealing with themes here all related to the way one works, people you work with. The symbols are wealth, health, prosperity, and fortune. And it's about the idea that we have in our genetics a built-in need to work, especially for the generators. But for all the types, really, it's just different types of work. For example, for projectors, they're kind of better guides or managers or overseers. Manifestors are kind of better as leaders or just working independently. And then reflectors are kind of doing what they're doing, kind of what is it, the carry in the coal, not the carry, the pigeon in the coal mine. That's probably not the best way to put it, but this is this lower frequency is about the problems of living without a sense of personal kind of freedom and really being stuck in the energy of compromise. And this implies that one is giving up their uniqueness. Thus, this is a unique, individuated, expressive channel. And so individuation needs to be expressed in this particular channel. And when this energy is repressed, it could be the more powerless someone becomes by the more they compromise in their life. A reactive expression would be those who try and overprove themselves, kind of enslaved by their own need or recognition to like prove who they are. And these people can get caught up in a lot of rage if they're feeling like they need to prove that. At the higher frequency level, this is about competence. It's about being able to express your latent genius, really being able to have material success. And in all the ways, in efficiency, flexibility, flair, enthusiasm, consistency. And it's about feeling contented with one's expression of work or one's results. And really what it is they're loving the way that, or they're loving the work that they do. Now, I want to say quickly, it's not about that so generically, as I do a lot of vocational charts for clients. Sometimes there's not a career that's laid out clearly. This is really important to remind people that sometimes charts just don't have a clear set out career. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what it is. Maybe they're here to do certain type of work and have hobbies that they where they can express certain other outlets. Many of us enjoy, doing having a day job and then doing our creative music or some kind of art or some kind of practice like astrology or whatever their thing is. And they appreciate doing it on the side because if you make it your job, like that, it can become pretty exhausting. You might even grow to hate it. So it's not for everyone to do at your job or career what it is you love. Sometimes that's on the side. So I just say that because I think it's important to accept that and allow that to be. Not all of us have such strong career patterns in our chart that can be manifested into the world. Um, I'm not one who says that like we're all here to do everything. That's bullshit. We're here to do what we're here to do. Not a, there's no such thing as charts that can do everything. That's not what it is. What it is we all have a unique destiny. So we're not all here to fulfill the same things. And once you realize that, like you relax, you calm. Oh, okay. And then all these heavy, family induced expectations fall away because no, that's not who I am. So that's not going to happen, whatever. Again, we're not all here to have the same experiences. What is it, like 10,000 years it takes for a soul to incarnate through however many bodies they do? I guess that's one frame perception of it. Who knows the veracity of that? But that's what it is. We're all where we're at. And that's what it always comes down to. We're each where we're at. And so judgment is useless in that context. It really is, because judge what? What are we judging? We're each perfecting something different in the given life. So why put the same restrictive expectations or judgments on every human being? That doesn't make sense. Everyone fulfills their unique purpose. I remember at the end of Twin Peaks season 3, where there's this character from England who has this like weird, like, I don't know, this glove he put on. It's like stuck to his hand. He can't get it off. And he feels like he just has this purpose. He needs to come to like Twin Peaks, Washington. And he fulfills this purpose of battling this, negative entity, this spirit at the end of Twin Peaks that they're battling. Or am I thinking of the second season? No, I think I'm thinking of third season. Yeah, third season. And that's his purpose. That was his purpose, to physically kind of fight that force that was able to manifest, that was causing all this horror and chaos in the world of Twin Peaks. And he fought it with that boxing glove or whatever that got stuck to his hand. I don't recommend watching Twin Peaks unless you have a strong stomach. It's really intense. Movie theatrics, very dark, very intense, but very rewarding filmmaking. David Lynch, who passed earlier this year, or was it last year, definitely expressed great genius in what he did. And so let's see if I'm finished here. So gate 14, in a higher level frequency, it's about abundance, material abundance. And it's about being able to bring that forth from the sacral up into the G center, the center of community, the magnetic monopole, attracting what's correct for you, to you. And it's alchemical energy coming directly from the sacral. So it's life force energy pulsating through. And those of you who have the two, especially the non-energy types like projectors, reflectors, and manifestors, you're going to have a lot of energy this week. If you have the two, or if you have the 20, that you'll be able to manifest. And or the 52, or the 3. And yeah, that's about it. Those are the gates out to sacral. So if you have some of those gates, it'll give you sacral activation. And that's what it is for this particular gate. I'll mention a couple more things. And that's that we're building up to this new moon on the 19th, 20th. And this particular new moon is in Scorpio. And so it's near the end of Scorpio, so it's an ending. It's like we're ending the true detective story here. Something is being sought out and found out. And it may be shocking and it may come upon us suddenly in the form of random, just some news coming out, or it could be some earth changes, or it could be some kind of Carrington event. It could be something, but it's just make sure you have your food, you have your stuff, that you're warm indoors during this kind of winter as it starts to get colder and colder. And we're ending the end of Scorpio, so it's the time to be honest with yourself and kind of look inside and track or stock out any energy you don't want in your space, any energies you're ready to let go of, and to be honest with yourself and to look at what you need to really leave behind now so that you can move forward towards the Aries Vortex. As Sagittarius is the bow and the crossbow. It's like the pulling back of the arrow. And we're pulling back, we're pulling back, we're pulling back, and not till around the 24th are we going to let go of that arrow and allow it to shoot out into the sky, into our target, which is February 19th, Aries Vortex. And again in April, when Uranus goes back into Gemini, another bullseye point. And that's what it is. We're focused, we're looking at our goals, and we're following through. And I say that for myself as well. because that's the energy here. We're holding, we're making the agreements with ourselves, and we're looking to follow through our goals and to complete our projects. It's very difficult. We all struggle with this. This is something we all struggle with. And yet the Scorpio energy allows us, gives us the space to go deep, to pull in really deep and look at what we need to look at and clear it out so we can move forward. And, that's also the thematics of this month. There's so many planets in retrograde. We don't need to start anything new right now. We can just kind of sit back and kind of, clean up and and get ready for the next steps. And, hold on to your hats, as the cliche idiom is, because after the 24th, the energy is going to start shooting forward in a very powerful way. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing crypto go crazy, or, some other stuff go crazy, but definitely intensity's coming, and just, stay in the center, stay in the center point, stay in the balance point. In life, you don't need to get too excited. The more excited you get, the more you're going to suffer later. And sometimes we enjoy extremes, especially you Libras out there. But what is it really about? Well, it's really about balance, not going in either extremes too far, but respecting life for what it is, the highs and the lows and the highs. Because that's our environment. That's our outer and our inner environment. There's a lot of harmony, but there's a lot of disharmony. There's a lot of great connections and hellos, and there's a lot of being confronted by others, and also confronting oneself so as to look truth in the eye and be okay with that and make the necessary adjustments and to move forward. And that's what it is this month after gate 14. And this is going to go from the 17th to the 22nd. I'll see you guys around the 23rd, right when the energy's kind of topping off in the underworld and we start to shoot out from the underworld into the Sagittarius atmosphere, the fires of air. And then we'll get to the next gate after that. I didn't write it down, so I don't know it offhand. But thanks so much for listening. And I think I'll leave it at that for this particular gateway. And I hope you guys enjoy this week, and don't push your luck this week. You know, this new moon is kind of insidious. It's about depths. So I wouldn't take any big risk. I wouldn't like travel too much. I wouldn't push things. It's a really good time to, go take a restorative yoga class, or make sure you get some good time at the spa, or something relaxing, something that you can be with yourself and be in a calm space. All right, you guys, thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate, and I'll see you guys next time.